What is a vector? A vector is an object that has both a magnitude and a direction. Geometrically, we can picture a vector as a directed line segment whose length with the magnitude of the vector and with an arrow indicating the direction. The direction of the vector is from its tail to its head. Vectors may be represented by using direct like segments or arrow, like shown in the video. 5 types of vector is 0, unit, collinear, equal, and negative vector. 3 examples of vectors that applies in real life.
For tug of war demonstrates the role of vectors through the forces exerted by the teams and the resulting motion. Force vectors, each member, which is with board, pulls the rope in opposite direction with a certain magnitude of force. The direction and magnitude of these forces are represented as vectors. Resultant force vector. If the forces are unbalanced, one team pulls harder than the other. The rope moves in the direction of the larger force. The net force vector is the sum of the individual force vectors. Learn real-life examples of vectors because both involve quantities that have magnitude and direction. Firstly, throwing a ball. When you throw a ball, its motion is described by vectors such as velocity, acceleration, and force. For velocity vector, the ball has a specific speed, which is magnitude, and travels in a certain direction. For example, if you throw the ball upwards and forward at a 45-degree angle, the velocity vector points along that path. Last but not least, acceleration vector. Gravity acts as a downward acceleration vector throughout the ball's motion, pulling it back to the ground.
Situation 3. In video games. Many of us love to play video games. Don't you know, vector is really important to make video games? In game development, vectors have 2 or 3 dimensions, depending on whether you are making a 2D or 3D games, and are generally used to represent geometrical properties of objects within the game world. For example, in rotation, position, and etc. It's really long to explain the vector that used in video games because game dev use many types of vector for every aspect in making video games.